Yes, Algebra 1. How are you guys? Another amazing video coming your way. Hey, listen, I actually do kind of enjoy making these things. I really hope you guys are taking advantage of them. You got to watch them again, watch them again. Really helps you to understand the material. Hey, quick little shout out to Brendan. Want to say thank you for making that little video for me of you shooting the trash into the trash can just like you would on a normal first period day. You made it, so I know it's going to be a good day. Hey, listen, I want you guys to keep in touch. You got those prayer requests, send them my way. If there's just something funny that happens to you, send it my way. I miss you guys. Those are the little things I want to keep going. The banter we have back and forth, the jokes, please keep it coming. Those little things, they go a long way, even for Mr. A. All right, so let's get rolling here. We're starting a brand new chapter, chapter 11. We are officially chapter 11, section 1. We're talking about inverse and direct variation. All right, there are some key terms here, 5 of them. You got to copy all those key terms from the section, because they're going to use these words again. You got to know what they're saying when they say it. What equation do you use when they say it? There's different stuff like that. Okay, so let's jump into the equations. When they say direct variation, this is the generic form of what that looks like. This right here, the variable k, this is going to be a number. Could be any number. All right? But y and x will stay variables unless they give you a value for them, which we'll look a little bit further about what that means. But k is a number, all right? K is called the constant of variation. So you want to add that to your notes, all right? What if it's indirect variation, all right? Indirect variation is changed up a little bit. Again, k is going to be a number. X and y stay variables, but look at the different format. For direct, you are multiplying k and x. For indirect, you are dividing k and x. That's a big change, because when we graph it, the graphs look nothing alike. When you do the math, as you already know, multiplication, division, you're not going to get the same answer, okay? Now, this is super important right here, okay? You're going to notice that neither of these equations have a c value. What does c stand for? It's the constant, all right? So there's no constant value at the end of these equations. In other words, we're not going to say like plus 3 or minus 8. You won't have it. They will always look like this, and if you get a constant, then it's neither of these formats. All right, so it's not going to be direct, it's not going to be indirect, it's totally separate. Okay, so it's important to notice this right here. All right, let's take a look at what the graphs could look like. All right, DV standing for direct variation. Direct variation graph, it's going to make a linear graph. All right, linear just means it's going to make a straight line. So here's an example of what that could look like. All right, here's your x-axis, your y-axis. Here's a linear straight line. That is what direct variation is going to make, a linear graph. But indirect, all right, indirect variation, totally different. This is going to create what's called a hyperbola. All right, a hyperbola, nothing like linear. It's going to look either like this or like this. Now there's 2 different ways, because there are 2 different signs that could be with k. In other words, a positive k, that's this right here, a positive k. In other words, any positive number for k, you're going to have a hyperbola that is in quadrants 1 and 3. Okay, if you don't remember the quadrants on graphs, here's the quick rundown. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, kind of that counterclockwise. So if you have a positive k for indirect variation, you're going to be in quadrants 1 and 3, making this curved shape. the hyperbola shape. If you have a negative k value, all right, k on top, it's a negative, you're going to be in quadrants 2 and 4. You see, that's what we're in here, 2 and 4. Again, making that kind of weird curved hyperbola shape. Make sure you have that down. All right, let's do some example problems. Number 1, it's asking us, just tell me, is this equation direct variation, inverse variation, or none of them? For starters, you need to make sure it's in the proper format. Get y by itself, see what the other side looks like. So a 4 is with the y. That is not how it should be. So divide both sides by 4, crossing out, and then it's now going to look like y equals 3 over 4 times x. Now if you look at this, that looks just like direct variation. Some number multiplied by x. So this one is a direct variation equation. All right, let's take a look. Number 2, same exact directions. Is it direct? Is it indirect? Is it none? Step 1, everything needs to be changed up. We need the format to change. I see a negative y. I don't like that, so I'm going to move it over, and I see a 3 right there. Hint, hint, notice there's no variable with that 3. That might not be good. So let's rearrange it. We have 5x minus 3 equals y. Now, y is by itself. I see a number multiplied by x, so it's similar to direct, but this right here, this is a not good thing. That's a c value. And what did I say? Neither of these have c, so this is none. All right, not direct, not indirect, neither. Can't have a c value. All right, number 3, let's graph it. Now, we can immediately go into our graph, and what format does this look like? It looks like this, which is indirect, and look at indirect graphs. What do they make? They make a hyperbola. The 3 on top, what kind of 3 is it? It's positive 3. That means I got a positive k value, so I'm going to have a hyperbola in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. All right? So right there, you know you got quadrant 1, quadrant 3, plot the hyperbola right there. You're all good. Okay? Now, let's take a look at number 4, which really is number 6 on page 682. Now, I really want you guys to be right here, always following along in a book during the videos. Pause this video if you don't have your book open, get there. Okay, the directions are, given that y varies inversely with x. So, y varies inversely with x, that's the equation y equals k over x, inverse variation. Okay, and then we are going to be given a couple values. These values are x is 12 and y is negative 2. Step 1, let's take a look at this note right here. What if we don't have k, but we have x and we have y? Then this is the format you're going to want to use. Inverse variation. How to get k? Multiply x and y together to get k. So let's do that. 12 times negative 2 equals negative 24. Now I have k, so that equals k. All right, let's look a little bit further into the problem. Then find the value of y when x is negative 3. So if x equals negative 3 and k equals negative 24, can I get y? Yes, I can. Here's the equation. I have k, I have x, I can now solve for y. Negative 24 divided by negative 3 equals a positive 8. So that's what x equals right there. So here's the full answer. We know what x is. We also know what the equation is. The equation is y equals negative 24 divided by x. Right there. So those are the two pieces they're going to ask for. What's the equation for inverse variation? What is the value of x if you already knew what k was? All right, guys. Hope you're doing good. Watch this video. Watch it again and again. If you have questions, email me. Send me a personal message. Also, by the time you guys get this video, I hope you've had a great break. You guys were able to just get some quality time with family like you haven't had enough of that, I'm sure. And just that you're doing good. All right? So again, if you guys got something funny, send it my way. I'm curious. I need those little moments too. See you guys in the next video.